Hey there, happy Monday everybody. February is a very busy month for me birthday-wise. I volunteered to make 2 ice creams for each of my family members. There's 3 of us that have February birthdays. And this is my mom's request. This is for a coffee ice cream. So we start with a 1.5 cups of whole milk and a 1/2 cup of heavy cream. And I know that the cream amount seems really low from what we usually do, but don't worry, we're going to add more later. Then we have 3/4 cup of granulated white sugar, a pinch of salt, and a 1.5 cups of whole coffee beans. This is the only reason I keep coffee in the house, is for this ice cream. And over low-medium heat, we are going to stir that. As usual, when we steep things, we're going to bring it up until it's just steaming. So as I said, this is the only reason I keep coffee in my house. I'm not a coffee drinker. I don't like it. I've tried. The smell kind of makes me nauseated. And the taste, I can't get over it. I am a big tea drinker, but I cannot do coffee. So I must really love my mom. So my mom's other requested flavor that I make every year is a drumstick-inspired ice cream. And it's really just too simple for me to film and put on this channel. It's just my regular vanilla base with some pieces of waffle cone, some chocolate, and some peanuts mixed in at the end. It's actually really good. And it does taste a lot like a drumstick, but in ice cream form. This is just starting to steam, so we go ahead and kill the heat. Remove our spoon. There's a few coffee beans that got stuck in the slots. And we're going to cover this and let this steep for a full hour. 1 hour in, we will go ahead and remove the lid. And now we are going to make this a custard. It is an extremely rich custard. This is 7 egg yolks. And as always with the custard, we need to temper the egg yolks. So, ladle full of our milk and coffee beans and sugar. Go ahead and stir that in. We'll do 2 ladlefuls. Need our spatula. Need our spatula in there. The egg yolks go back. And over medium-low heat. We're going to stir that continuously as we cook the eggs and bring it up to our nappe texture. Okay, that's been about 2 to 3 minutes. I don't think we're there. I mean, we get the line through the spatula, but it doesn't feel like it's thickened up quite enough. So I'm just going to go another 30 seconds or so. Alright, that's better. Well, I don't know. Okay, yes, that is done. So go ahead and kill the heat. We're going to slide it off of the heat. Now because there are a lot of solids in here with these coffee beans, I'm actually, instead of straining into my little screw top containers, I am going to strain into this Pyrex. And using the spatula, we want to press on those coffee beans and try and get any liquid that may be inside of them down into our ice cream. And then, as I mentioned, we have more cream. This is to help cool the mixture a little bit more quickly. So this is another cup of heavy cream. And we've got some espresso powder here. We need a 1/4 teaspoon of that.
There you go.
It's got grounds in it.
Decaf.
And our trusty vanilla bean paste. 1/2 teaspoon of that. I usually eyeball this, but I have the measuring spoons out. We'll go ahead and measure it. And just stir that to make sure all of that instant coffee, instant espresso is mixed in. It's probably a good place to use my whisk. So we just want to whisk that. We don't want to work a lot of air into this. We're not making whipped cream. We just want to make sure that all of that espresso powder is nicely mixed, that there's no chunks. And now we can use our trusty screw top container. Perfect. Pretty much right to the top. Throw a lid on here, and this needs to, as with custards, chill in the fridge at least 4 hours, and overnight is better. You can also use the ice bath method if you want to cool it down more quickly, in which case you just need to cool it down until it's as cold as you can get. 40 degrees is probably fine.
The ice creaminator is chilled, as is our mixture. And we'll go ahead and churn this until we get to that soft serve.
Now, because this is birthday ice cream, and I don't need it to be single serve, I'm using these larger containers. So first off, because I'm doing something special here, I just want to put a thin layer on the bottom. Then I have these cannoli tubes, and I'm going to press that as close to the center as I can get, and start layering the ice cream around. The tube is going to move a little bit, but mainly we don't want it to fall over like that. And it's okay if it shifts a little bit, if it falls over. Mainly, we just don't want ice cream in the bottom of this tube, and I will explain why after this has a chance to freeze hard. Okay, the ice cream has frozen hard. We are going to remove that cannoli tube. So now we have a nice cored ice cream. And I have some homemade hot fudge. We're going to gently pour hot fudge into that core. Oh! A little bit of overflow. We'll clean that up in a second. So the fudge will solidify in a different manner than the ice cream, and we should be able to scrape it off pretty easily. And maybe just a little bit more in here. And I will use a clean spoon to sort of clean up that fudge. So there you go. Coffee ice cream with a hot fudge core. This is my serving suggestion for this. Again, I don't like coffee. I won't be eating this, but this seems to be a pretty good way to consume it. We'll go ahead and throw our lid on here. It says coffee with fudge.
Welcome to Coffee Talk.
And I hope you all have a great week, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.